What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for keeping it real with me and tuning in. Welcome to Keeping It Realty. I'm your host, Yolanda Brockington, and I have a great show today for realtors. So, if you know a realtor, if you want to be a realtor, this is a great show for you. Today, I'm going to be talking about safety. As real estate agents, myself included, when I first got into the business 2.5 years ago, I did not practice any safety. I'll be straight up. Of course, this is the show where I keep it real, right? So, what better way than to be honest about myself? When I came to brokerages and I was starting new, there were no classes to teach you about being safety. Yes, it's on NAR's website, and you can Google and you can find some YouTube videos, and and me doing my research to prepare for this episode. I found a lot of stuff out there, but there's nothing strolling and streaming down social media today to remind us as agents that we have to be careful. We are meeting buyers, we're meeting people that we do not know, absolutely have no relationship with, and we have to be careful on how we're meeting people. Now, in today's world, it's so many ways that you can get a fake ID. You can even get fake pre approval letters. Okay. So let's be real. We're going to talk about today how we can keep ourselves safe and the things that we can do and tips that we can do as realtors to be safe in this industry. So, without further ado, it's just me today, and I do want to really jump into some important things. I want to talk about some agents and just be real about situations because around the world, a lot of things is happening. Now, mind you, in our everyday world, I don't see any realtors in Maryland getting in trouble. I haven't seen any stories, and it's not really out there. But when you do your research, it is really out there. And a lot of agents are in danger when we're out at these open houses and we're showing properties to these strangers. So I want to jump into it. The first thing that you want to do when our clients are reaching out to you now with the pandemic, a lot of meetings are virtual and you are not going into the office. If you are getting back into the swing of things and you and your client feel comfortable, if you're just meeting someone for the first time, you want to make sure that you meet them in your broker's office. If you cannot meet in the office, then you want to meet in a common open space like a Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, Chipotle. That's my favorite. But you want to meet in an open place where lots of other people are around and you're not by yourself with your client. That's first and foremost. Second thing is you want to make sure if they're a client that's ready right now that you get their photo ID as well as their pre-approval. Now, when you get the pre-approval, you need to contact the lender on that pre-approval and talk in detail about the client. Are they ready right now? You need to figure out from your client, do they have savings money? Are they ready to put up and pay their earnest money deposit? Do they have money for a down payment? Do they want to use a down payment program? You want to get to all of this information before you see a house. Now, granted, I've gotten that client, they call us, hey, I want to see this house. I want to see it right now. I'm ready to go. I'm a cash buyer. Wink, wink. If they say they're a cash buyer, okay, they need to send you their bank statements. They may not have a pre-approval, but you do want something on their letterhead. Some of the investors I deal with, they already have a letterhead from their bank stating that they have a certain amount in their bank account. Verify with that letter with that agent or get a bank statement. The bank statement must match the ID that they have given you. If they're using a LLC bank account, then you want to make sure that you ask them for their articles of organization so you can see if any their original name is on with that LLC company and it's the person that you're meeting. Okay, so those are very important details. You want to make sure that you're meeting in an open space and you want to make sure that you vet out your client, that you talk to the lender, that you know how they're going to buy, that they are pre-approved. If a client is not pre-approved, we are not taking them to see houses. Come on. I mean, a lot of times you want to deal, right? And you do want to build relationships with people. But if they are not pre approved, we are not showing houses. It doesn't matter to me what the situation may be. If you do not have that pre approval letter or your bank statement and I have not verified with the lender and actually spoke with someone, I will not take you to show a property. And it's just, it just is what it is. More for us as realtors to be safe. Okay. So that's the first two things I really want to put out there. I know with the pandemic, a lot of us are not doing this. We might be meeting virtually, then, we getting a lot of stuff over the computer. You send your pre-approval, you send your stuff, and then we're ready to take you. No, I encourage you guys to go back and verify the lender, go back and verify your client and make sure you're vetting them out. Okay. So once you do all that, great, your game, go take them to the showing. Another thing I want to talk to you about when you get to the showing. Okay. If you arrive to the showing first and you have a house that has a driveway, as a realtor, and I did this, I still do this. I just learned this in researching to come and do this show, but do not pull into the driveway. Okay. Do not pull into the driveway. Park on the street. And the reason you want to do that, if a buyer comes or anybody comes and they block you in case of emergency, as a realtor, you cannot get out. That is so dangerous. So make sure if it has a driveway, do not pull in the driveway. Allow the client to pull in the driveway. Do not pull in the driveway. You pull on the street. If you arrive to this showing before your client, as realtors, myself included, I'm always in my phone. Do not stay in your phone. Of course, we're going to be in our phone. We're sending messages. We're always, communicating with clients, but you want to be aware of your surroundings. Every couple, 30 seconds or whatever, look up, look around you. I don't wait so long. So if my client's not there, if you haven't communicated, I'm pulling off straight up. I'm pulling off. Call me when you get back. I will come back. But especially in Baltimore City, I do not like to sit on streets long and I'm waiting. I feel like that's a known target, especially if you're in certain areas that are dangerous. If you have guys hanging out on the corner, do not sit and wait for the client. You guys should try to, arrive at the same time, or maybe drive around the block a little bit, get to see the neighborhood, do some scouting, but do not sit long while you're waiting for a client, and do not be in your phone so long that you're not aware of your surroundings. That is very dangerous. People will prey on you if they feel like you are weak or you're a target. So if you're not paying any attention to what's going on, they will definitely prey on you. So you want to make sure that we are not in the phone too long and that we are keeping aware of our surroundings. So we're at the showing. Our client shows up. As a realtor, you want to already make sure that you have the door open for them, or you want to make sure that you put the key in the door, turn, unlock everything, but you let your client lead. This is another thing as a realtor that I was not doing when I first started showing properties. Let the client lead. You never want to lead first, and you never want to be in a room where you are boxed in and the client will not allow you to get out. So you let the client lead. You also take someone with you to the show. And if it's another realtor, if it's someone that just came into the practice and they want to get into the game and want to learn a little bit, take someone with you that can also have your back and make sure that you are also being safe during the showing. So I'm learning now, and I'm going to show you guys a really good clip. But you go upstairs in the home, you stay in the hallway. Do not go into the bedrooms. Do not go into the bathroom. Allow the client to lead and look around the house. We can stay in a safe place and make sure we're still answering questions and we're still very much available. But please, guys, be safe when you're out with these showings. The same with an open house. If you are hosting an open house, take someone with you. A lot of times people have co-listing agents. So if you have a co-listing agent, great. You guys can together, or another agent can come from the brokerage to support and hang out with the person at the open house. An open house is a big red flag because as agents, everyone has our contact information. On social media, it's easy to see if we're hosting an open house and where we are and our address and location, right? So you want to make sure if someone can be with you at the open house, it would be very good to take someone with you. Have a buddy. Tell a buddy, same with showing. If you're showing properties to a client now on Century Lock, when you go into a home, but it's only if you're opening up a Century Lock, they will alert the person, like the safety alert. So make sure that your safety alert if you are in Maryland, is up to date with someone that is going to answer. I had my mom, and mom, I love you to death. I had my mom as my safety agent. And she just recently started, picking up and being more aware. But in the beginning, I was like, hey, mom, did you get your safety alert? I went in the house, and she's like, oh, I didn't get it. Make sure whoever's on your safety alert that they are aware that you are their contact, they are your contact, and that they answer in case of emergency. So I am a contact for my dear bestie, who I love so much, Keisha Luda. Shout out to you and to the hat. Listen, God Family Real Estate. This is my bestie's brand. You could definitely follow her. I'm going to post a link so you can be able to get some gear. But God Family and Real Estate. I am Keisha's safety alert person. And Keisha, I do check. So when she goes in a property, if she doesn't alert me, I will call her. I will make sure she's okay if she has not cut off that alert. So be aware of that. Take someone with you. A lot of these properties, they're on combo. So you're not going to get that alert if it's not on Century Lock. Make sure someone know where you are, and also drop a location. So with me, I would drop a location to my assistant, Tanae. Shout out to you, Tanae. I would drop a location to Keishel. But make sure that you're dropping your location and that someone knows where you are at all times. If you're going to go show 3 houses, every time you get to the house, drop a location. If you have a gut feel, if it's someone you know, I mean, obviously you don't want to overkill, but if it's somebody you don't know, for me personally, if I'm going out with a male, I'm just meeting them, I don't know them, I'm going to drop their location. I might snap a pic and send to my cousin Terrell. Shout out to my cousin Terrell as well. I have a lot of people. Let me take that back. I don't have a lot of people, but I have people that I trust, right? That I will send certain things to let them know where I am when I'm out showing properties. That number one person for me is Tanae. And then, like I said, I have Keisha, and I'm going to add Tanae as my safety too on Century Lock. But you want to make sure that you have things in place because it's so important, especially when it's coming time for us to show properties to someone that we don't know. So buddy for showing as well as for open house. Make sure you have a buddy with you, preferably a realtor, someone that can answer questions. Well, actually not preferably, but you need to have a realtor. If you can't get a realtor and your cousin got to come, then hey, cousin can, hang out at the open house. It's cool. If you have a realtor, they can also answer questions for you and be, learning the process and helping you with the open house. Also, with the open house, everyone that comes into that open house, make sure that you get a name and some contact information. If they have a photo ID, they can show it. A lot of people don't, but you can ask for a photo ID just to keep and be safe. And make sure that they're writing down so you know everyone that came into that open house, just to, again, keep yourself safe. It's so important. So in regards to doing all this, that's the best thing that we could do when we are out, to make sure that we're staying safe, to make sure that we're keeping ourselves protected. Of course, you want to make sure you lock up the house after. And while you're doing that, of course, your back is to yourself, but I always take a peek back, or I kind of stand to the side so I can be able to see while I'm punching in a code or locking back up that lockbox. I stand to the side so that way I can be able to see both ways as I'm locking up that property and making sure that I am being safe. With that being said, it's also some things that we can do. It's a RAD class, RAD, and it's for rape, aggression, and defense. You can take those classes. I have never taken those classes. I come from the hood. Shout out to Baltimore City. So I will throw these up. But I should take a class as well. There's nothing wrong with taking a defense class because they will show you, somebody trying to grab your neck, how you can get down and whatever you got to do to the person. You want to learn that, okay? So with these classes, you can participate, you can learn a defense move, or you could just kind of stay and, watch and just get a feel for the class. But definitely look up the class, and also a license to carry. I don't think is a bad thing to look into. Obviously, we want to be safe, right? We don't want to play with guns or have them out unnecessary, but you want to, as a realtor, get you a license to carry for sure. It's very important. And I always joke with my cousin, if somebody come and run up on me in the house, I'm going to peel that muffin cat bag blue. You hear me in my Kevin Hart best voice. I'm going to peel that muffin cat bag blue. Let me tell you, with no problem. So with that being said, definitely get your license to carry. Still take the safety tips and precautions. I'm not saying, hey, go out and beat people up and, get a gun and shoot people. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think that these are things that we need to have in place to keep us protected. I love real estate. I love real estate so much, but I also love my family and my life. I want to come back home to my kids and I want to continue to do this thing every day. And the only way that we're going to be doing this every day is if we start practicing and getting in the routines. Guys, if you're just tuning in with me, if you know a realtor, if you are a realtor, please tag my realtors, especially us as women. Men, I'm not saying that it does not happen to you, because it does. A guy in Virginia, I'm going to share the clip too. He got shot, sight unseen property. Guy didn't like the property, shot him, then shot himself. So it happens to men as well. But as women, we are more vulnerable. Please, women, if you are a realtor, please, if you're a female realtor, be careful out here. Be careful of how we dress. Okay, because a lot of times you can have something on and you wonder why somebody's looking or saying stuff, and it's because of what we're wearing. I'm just, again, keeping it a buck, myself included. Okay, be careful what we're wearing. Be careful what we're doing and how we're doing it. When you're bending down and you're putting in that lock code box, hint, hint, again, to the side. Show up before the client gets there. Already have the door open. Whatever it is that you need to do to take those precautions, I encourage you to practice them every day so that way we continue to do it. So when you go in a house, practice letting your client lead first. Practice being behind a client. I know realtors not doing it. I did not do this myself. I did not. I just researched so I could do the show because I started seeing how agents was either getting killed, being raped, getting robbed. It's happening. It is definitely happening. And it is more important for us to protect ourselves as well as our client, right? Also, I'm sharing a clip, a realtor, her boyfriend was into some stuff, not even her. And somebody called her and said, hey, I want to see a house. When she got to the house, they abducted her, okay, and killed her because of some things that her boyfriend was involved in. So all I'm saying is, again, to be safe, be careful, watch your surroundings, let the client lead. Don't follow the client around the property in every house. Another tip I forgot about. If you're going in a vacant house, you need to know if the lights work or the lights don't work. If the lights is not on in a vacant house, you need to make sure you have a flashlight. You need to make sure you go in the daytime, and you need to definitely make sure that you take someone with you. Please, guys, I cannot stress it enough to be safe. I cannot stress it enough to be careful. And for me, I have a duty today, and my duty is to make sure that my other fellow realtors are being safe. A lot of people been in the game for many, many years, and I can tell you, if no one's honest, nobody is doing these practices every single time that they go into a house. And if you do, great. I'm very proud of you. And if you don't, it's just time for us to step up in the safety tip. I want to share some clips with you guys so that you can see why it is important. We have a realtor in Virginia, like I was just telling you about. And this story just really touched my heart because for me in the DMV, it's close to home. It's really close to home. This was a sight unseen property. The person didn't even live in Virginia, just trying to travel to be closer to family, and did not like the property that they purchased. So they shot an agent. The fact that he was able to even bring a gun and, all that, again, be careful of your surroundings. I have a lady that was hosting an open house. A guy tried to push her, could have tried to rob her. We're going to also look at that clip. So guys, stay tuned with me, but check out this clip.
Also tonight, the real estate community is in shock after the killing of a realtor in a murder-suicide.
Police in Portsmouth are still piecing this together. 41-year-old Soren Arnaltschlegel was shot and killed at a home on Bowling Road Friday. And the man who shot him then took his own life as the SWAT team surrounded the house. 10 News Side's Chris Horn has the latest developments for us. Chris.
Anita's sources tell us 84-year-old Albert Baglioni was buying the home on Bowling Road sight unseen and got upset when he learned that he couldn't back out of the deal. Police say he shot Arn Olschlegel, and shortly after they arrived, he shot himself. I spoke with a local realtor about the steps she takes to stay safe when she's alone with a client and how she's now considering arming herself. The tragic death of Soren Arn Olschlegel has brought condolences from Hampton Roads Pride and Hampton Roads realtors. He had just turned 41 last month and was shot dead at this home Friday evening on Bowling Road. Portsmouth police say Baglioni told them he did it, and shortly after they arrived, he shot himself. Police found both men dead.
Everything comes with risk.
Wendy Carbaugh is in her 18th year as a Hampton Roads realtor. Like so many in that business, she's now mourning the death of a colleague and concerned for her own safety. Whenever she's alone with a client, she takes precautions. She leaves the key in the front door and lets the client enter the home first.
Because they can close the door. If you're walking in front of them, they can close the door and lock it behind you, and then you're trapped.
And Carbaugh keeps her car keys close at hand to trigger that alarm if needed. She'll tell people in her office where she's going. When she goes upstairs, she stays out of the bedrooms and lets the client explore.
I'll kind of let them wander in each room, and I stand in the hallway.
Okay, so you're not letting yourself get in a room with them?
Absolutely not.
Carbaugh has a concealed carry permit. She hasn't carried on the job yet, but Arn Olschlegel's death could very well change that.
Haven't felt that need yet, but
Are you close?
I'm very close.
Do you know of other realtors who are carrying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And now Portsmouth Police continue to investigate, and the National Association of Realtors has safety tips on its website. We have a link to it on wavy.com. Chris Horn, 10 on your side.
So guys, listen, this agent went ahead and she also would take her car keys. So that way, if she need to press the alarm, that is something that is really, really good to do and to think about doing if you need to. Another thing that she, doesn't do is that she doesn't allow the client to lock the door or lock her inside the property after they went to lead the way. Please, guys, I cannot stress enough how important it is to stay safe. And I would love for this video to go viral. I would love for you guys to see that it is important to be safe. As a realtor, we have to be safe, and we cannot just assume that because we do this every day and we're familiar with the neighborhood and everything else that no one will attack. You never know what people are going through. You never know what people's motives are, but we can be safe and we can protect ourselves. I'm going to show you guys another clip. This is from a woman that was hosting an open house. Let's check it out.
I think he would have raped me, that's number one, and he would have killed me.
A realtor who asked not to be shown on camera was showing a home in Encino on Sunday when this terrifying attack happened that's left her leg battered. The realtor says his name was Tom, and she got a funny feeling before the attack and moved their conversation to the porch, hoping he would leave, but he kept asking questions.
He said, well, can I show you the closet? I said, no. I said, I'm not, I'm going to stand out here. So he said, can I have water? I said, the fridge is right there in the kitchen. You can open the fridge, me. And he said, can I use the bathroom? I said, no, the owner doesn't allow anyone to use the bathroom.
You can hear them talk on the porch, and the man even looked at the camera twice and took off his hat. You can clearly see his bald head and face.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Get on, okay?
Huh?
Remember you said.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The realtor says when he pushed her, he grabbed her chest and she thought he was trying to grab her necklace, but then he took off. She thinks screaming saved her life.
I said, no matter what, I'm just going to keep screaming until I get help.
Are you still going to be a realtor?
I don't know. It's a tough question.
This wasn't the first time she's seen this man. She says this guy came to her open house on a bike last week, and her gut told her something was strange. That's why this weekend she had a friend stay with her at the open house on Sunday for most of the day. But when her friend left, she says Tom showed up.
I was so lucky. I had a feeling from day one that this person can hurt me.
And that's another thing, guys. You want to trust your gut. I love the fact that she was trusting her gut. I mean, here this guy showed up at one open house with her, waited till her friend left the second day with this open house, and then showed up to try to attack. This is why we have to be safe. This is why we have to take the precautions. And this is also why we have to trust our gut. That guy was inside that property looking around, and she lured him back outside. Had she not screamed as loud as she possibly could, it frightened him to run away. He probably would have dragged her back in and tried to rape her. We as women, realtors, we have to be safe. We have to take a buddy with us. There's nothing wrong with taking a buddy. And the best buddy you can take is someone that's already into real estate because they love it just as much as you love it. So if you're in Maryland, if you need a buddy, call me. Even if we're in different brokerages, hey, I love connecting and working with realtors all over. I don't care what brokerage you're with. I don't care where you are in the industry. We are all in this together. And if I have the time and I'm in the city, guess what? I can sit out and I can make a reel. I can make some posts. I can do some things that are fun while I'm supporting my friend. So with that being said, guys, we got to trust our gut. We got to be safe. We got to take those precautions. Okay. We want to get back home to our family. There's someone that loves me. There's someone that loves you. It is a reason why we need to protect ourselves, and we need to take this more serious. Guys, I'm going to share this last clip, and this is from the showing when the realtor was abducted by people that she know. So if you guys notice, I'm doing 3 different clips. One was under contract. This guy didn't like the property, shot the agent. Second is an open house. This girl's by herself. God thinks she's vulnerable. Try to do something to her. Okay. This third clip is just about being careful of people you know and who may know where you are and how they can get to you. As a realtor, we are the most easy accessible people, because if someone contacts us and they're a client and they want to buy a house, this is our job. We are like running down to make sure we meet the client and we get the stuff done, but we have to be careful and we have to take precaution. Check out this video here.
Prosecutors say a house showing in Maple Grove was a setup that led to a realtor's death. Monique Baugh, seen in this video, worked for the Chris Lindahl real estate team. Police say she received a cell phone call requesting a house showing on the afternoon of New Year's Eve. She arrived at the Maple Grove home when a short time later a U-Haul van arrived. According to the criminal complaint, surveillance video showed a person forcibly walking someone into the van before driving away. Baugh's body was found later that day in a North Minneapolis alley. About an hour before police found Baugh shot and killed, officers showed up at a Minneapolis home where Baugh's boyfriend was shot and injured. A suspect in the shootings has been arrested and charged. According to court documents, authorities believe the suspect is a rival drug dealer to Baugh's boyfriend.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
Each of these stories breaks my heart. It breaks my heart for the job that I love and the real estate that I'm just so much invested into. How as realtors, we can come out, thinking we're going to meet a client and we may never come back to our families. That is scary. That is very scary. And that's why I wanted to put together this video. So guys, if you are just tuning in, I've shared 3 great clips that just show us why we need to be more careful, why we need to be more mindful. And I would love for you guys to help me out. Please like, share, and comment this video. If you know a realtor, tag them, share this, share it in inboxes. If you know a realtor, please, guys, I cannot stress it enough. Whether it's male, female, doesn't matter, especially my women, though. If you know a realtor, please share this information with them, because we have to be safe. Guys, I cannot stress it enough how safe we need to be. And in fact, I'm going to take it to the NAR's website with this clip, but I'm going to show you guys a clip that you can find on the NAR website, and it talks about safety tips for us as realtors. Check this clip out.
As a real estate professional, you are in a unique position that most working professionals never face. In your business, you often share your contact information openly with others, meet unknown clients, and walk through vacant properties, to name a few. It's because of the unique nature of this business that it's critical for all real estate professionals to have personal safety protocols in place that you follow every day with every client, every time. So what kind of safety protocols should you implement into your daily routine? Here are a few to consider. When meeting a client for the first time, do not meet a new client at a property right away without first having an initial meeting at your office or a public space, like a coffee shop. During the initial meeting, make copies or take photos of the client's driver's license and pre-approval letter for your records. This precaution allows you to keep a record at the office of who your clients are, their information, and a calendar of appointments. When first meeting with a new client, you should discuss the types of real estate they're interested in and walk them through the safety protocols you have in place for all clients. Now you can arrange showings, meet them at properties, and schedule open houses to help them through the biggest financial decision of their life. When viewing a property, it's okay to ask your client to drive separately. This is a safety precaution for you as much as it is for them, not to mention you might both have appointments to go to before or afterward.
Hey, this is cute.
As you tour a property, walk behind your client. This routine safety measure allows them to see the room first and make their own impressions. Many agents do not go into attics, garages, or basements as an additional safety measure. But encourage your client to look around and let you know what they think. It is a safe practice to only show vacant properties which might not have electricity during daylight hours. This allows you to see what safety hazards may exist, like a loose floorboard or any defects the house may have.
It's got potential.
When holding an open house, advise your clients to board their pets and remove jewelry, family photos, credit card receipts, artwork, prescription drugs, and any other valued possessions from the home in advance of the open house. This is just one way to look out for your client and to keep their property and belongings secure. Keep a record of who entered the house by asking everyone who walks in the door to sign in with their name and phone number or show a photo ID. There is something to be said about safety in numbers. Consider bringing along a colleague when holding an open house. If there are several potential buyers walking through the home, even better to have 2 agents on hand to answer questions and keep an eye on things. Safety is an important part of real estate. Be prepared and follow the protocols and processes that have been put in place to keep you and your clients safe. For more information and additional resources, visit www.nar.realtor/safety.
And that's it, guys. Being safe. Remember where we can get our resources from. NAR is really good if you are a realtor. Again, real estate agent and realtor is 2 different things. That's a whole separate video. But if you are a realtor, you do have access to NAR. You can find out your safety tips and go on their website. Just to wrap up this entire podcast today, guys, I encourage you to be safe. I encourage you to meet at the office. If you can, meet at your broker's office first. I know we're doing, because I do it, virtual meetings. But if you are doing a virtual meeting, make sure you get a license and a pre-approval, vet it out. If you can't meet at the office or you're not doing a virtual meeting, meet at an open area where it's a lot of other people around. So you could do like a Starbucks, you could do Dunkin' Donuts, coffee place, anything like that, somewhere for lunch. Whatever you decide, but a place and environment that you feel comfortable. You remember that you control the situation. And so what I mean by control the situation is the environment you're in. Make sure you know where your exit is. Make sure that people are around. Make sure that if you got to have your hand in your pocket with your keys, getting ready to open your door, to run straight to your door if you need to, whatever the precautions is, we need to make sure that we're taking them. So we want to do that in an open space. We want to vet out our clients. We want to take a buddy with us if we can, or drop our location when we're going to showings if we cannot take a buddy with us. The same for open house. If you could take a buddy, you can have a co-listing agent and you guys can go together. That's great. If not, take another agent from the brokerage. Take your broker. I know mine might show up. David will show up. Shout out to David. But reach out to someone in your brokerage. For us at Rogue, we have a Facebook page. I can just, put something on Facebook and ask if anybody's available to accommodate me at an open house because I don't feel comfortable. So it's ways that you can definitely go to make sure that you are taking the precautions and measurements and being safe. Again, make sure that the client leads. you follow. But the client leading to the property, you follow. When you're upstairs on the second floor, stay in the hallway. You do not need to go into the bedrooms with them. Let them lead and you follow them. Make sure, again, if you're sitting in a car and you're waiting for a client, that you are mindful of your surroundings and that you don't sit and wait too long, especially if you're in a dangerous area. If it's a lot of people hanging outside or doing things, you want to make sure that you're keeping it safe. I appreciate you guys for keeping it real with me. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, if you know a realtor, please like, comment, or share. Tag that realtor to this page, guys. I appreciate your love and support as always. And remember, stay safe.